Welcome to the Startup Passport by eConsulate. Today we're joined by Maxim Segeren, and you're the co-founder and also the CEO of Tree Composites.
Indeed.
Thank you for joining us today. And would you mind telling us a little bit about the company?
Yeah, sure. We founded the company in 2020 after 3 years of development at the University of Delft, where the idea was created to bond, or at least to form a joint of steel connections by placing composite instead of welding. So currently, if you look at when you have these type of connections, so I'm just showing this, let's say 3D printed connection, they are huge. So we're talking about 10 meters high, maybe 20 tons of steel inside of it, and they are welded. And Marko Pavlovic, who is the inventor of the technology, he saw a tree which was supported by a steel tube, and the tree was growing around it, placing fibers at locations where it would be optimal to transfer loads from the tree to the steel rod. And then he thought, hey, can't we do that also with steel connections? And the answer now is yes, we can, and it's stronger, more durable, and actually reduces 50% of the steel use in structures. And
at what point is the company right now?
So, as said, so we are already now 7 years in development. Last year was a pivotal year, so 2023 was a pivotal year because we have done full-scale joint validations, so confirming that indeed we can design but also manufacture the joints, and that it's stronger than steel. So steel is the weak link, so steel will either fail in maximum load or in fatigue. So we have confirmed on full scale that the fatigue lifetime, so the lifetime of the joint, is 5,000 times longer than its corresponding welded joint.
And for you as a founder or co-founder, especially in that industry that you're in, how essential was your network or a certain ecosystem for you to start off?
That was indeed super important. So, and that's also what I more or less brought in also into the company. So I have a background in offshore wind. So I did my studies at university also in that direction. Then I did my PhD also on connections in offshore wind foundations. And then I was a bridge between the researchers and the industry, creating new projects around innovations, all at the University of Delft. And there was one innovation which I was super excited about, and that was this. So bringing a new technology to the market. And I saw that it's so radically different than what we do. And I also saw that we can really do something about the energy transition if we implement this. So then I decided to go for it. And maybe then a little bit to explain how does this connect to the network. You also have a foundation called GROW within the Netherlands, and I was there as a program council member. Then you have the network with all the bigger companies such as in the Netherlands, for example, Eneco, but RWE, Vattenfall, Shell. Now there's also Total Energy. So all the big developers are part of it. You get the opportunity to form consortia around new innovations, get their input, and it just helps a lot if you would like to bring a new technology to the market, that they are on board from the start. They are co-financing also your development. So they also already from the start have their own, let's say, relatively small skin in the game, as in, okay, do you want this? Okay, yes. Okay, how do you see that? It just helps in accelerating a new innovation into the market.
And from a founder's perspective, how was the shift from you from being a university student, you said at TU Delft in the Netherlands, to then becoming essentially a founder of something? So how did that process look, and what kind of fears were maybe also involved in there?
Yeah, good question. I'm just thinking. So I had a position at the University of Delft, which was innovation manager. So I was accustomed to having to talk to companies about new innovations and what they want to, or what their opinion is, how to bring that to the market. So I did first, before 2020, I did a full year looking at, okay, how can we bring this technology with any of the existing market parties to the market? Because I also saw, okay, you need to dedicate time for it. And then it was the conclusion, that it's too radically different. So either it would indeed die in its radicality, or we need to just say, okay, we go for it. So, and then you discuss with, for example, the person who knows most about it, the inventor, but also with the company, it's called Versteden, who has built some prototypes up to then, because we tested 150 of these joints before we launched the company. Okay, do we want to do this? Okay, how would that go? What are the conditions? How do you go for the first 6 months? And one of the things that I was I'm still good at is attracting the correct subsidies for developing technologies. So first I started to work for 1 day, up to the point that we actually could expand it. And now we're with 20 people, and just opened our own production facility of 800 square meters. So it's going good.
And what would you say are, in the near future, the next steps that you want to take? And also, what kind of help could you need in still growing with the company?
Yeah, so the other part that was in 2023 was that we built a full-scale, we built a full platform for a client, which are, I don't know if you know it, but I think listeners will know it. Jan de Nul, Deme, Deme and Tractabel, which is a part of Engie. And we built a full platform of composite, 10 meters wide and deep and 6 meters high for offshore solar. And that helped us as well because it enabled us to bring the technology offshore. So it is floating at the shore, dealing with all the notorious North Sea storms. And it just demonstrates that it works. And although you show that in the lab it's stronger than steel, seeing it out there helps. And that is where I think we, from the commercial side, still looking for partners. So having partners that want to have this technology in their commercial project with all the difficulties that you will see and face during that, not only in the technology, but also contractually is difficult. So that's one. And then we just opened our own production facility because the last 2 years, next to the technology, we also were developing a new production methodology. Because up to this point, we built everything by hand due to the complex shapes, because you have to place fibers at certain locations where robots just tend to be very difficult. So that we already thought that, okay, if we want to produce, for example, 5 million kilograms of composite, you cannot apply that by hands. So 2 years ago, we decided to look at, okay, how can we industrialize that? And I can say that now we can shift over. That's the reason why we have our own dedicated production facility where we are going to, let's say, install the first production line there. And that will also help our clients in their wish that if you order something, you also would like to know that they can handle the quantities in a certain limit of time. If you would order a car and they say, we never produced a car or 10 cars, and our production facility can only build one a year, then you say, I'm not going to wait 10 years for 10 cars. So that's also what we face, is that, okay, they're interested in the technology. They also would like that it's produced in a certain amount of time for a certain cost, but you also have to guarantee the supply in terms of quantity. So then you have to show that indeed within a few months after if you would get an order, that you can actually produce the kilograms.
It's definitely interesting challenges ahead in the short, but then also in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm super happy with the team because I think that's where we excel as well. So we have, indeed, as I said, 20 people with, what is it now, 12 or 11, 13, 11, 12 nationalities, I'm sorry. So very diverse and really, I think, really talented people from composite engineering to also composite manufacturing. Really good project manager also hired last month. So I'm really proud of what we are doing, because this is just a big challenge, and we need everyone on board.
Great. I think that's a great note to end it off as well. So thank you very much on all these insights on Tree Composites. Good luck with that, and thank you for joining the interview today.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Thanks.